Facebook's attribution refers to the distribution of conversions, transactions, and their monetary expression between the sources of the user's transitions to the site. Facebook's attribution allows you to more accurately evaluate the effectiveness of your advertising by using different models for analysis. In addition, an important feature of some models in Facebook attribution is that they take into account not only clicks from advertising but also views. Attribution model. This is the principle of distribution of conversions, transactions, and their monetary expression between the sources of the user's transitions to the site. When we set up advertising, there is a conversion window field where one of the suggestions is 7 days after click or 7 days after viewing. This is the default setting. Select the amount of time that usually elapses from the time your ad is viewed or clicked until a valuable action conversion takes place. We use the data obtained during this time period to optimize the display of advertisements. For example, if your conversion window is 1 day, we'll optimize your ad based on conversion data from 1 day after people interacted with your ad. The conversions and attribution system on Facebook and Instagram attributes everything to itself. For example, for a site that sells watches, a person visited the site, looked at a specific watch, liked it, and bought the watch within 3 to 7 days. If you had the first touch with this client through Facebook, Facebook will definitely record this conversion. You can see this in Google Analytics. This applies to site owners when you advertise on the site itself. Speaking of the site, the parameter 7 days after click or 7 days after viewing is very important. You can find the attribution in the Ads Manager where you see a list of your campaigns. On the right are columns with data and one column with attribution indicators. By default, attribution is set to 7 days after click or 7 days after viewing. If you want to change this parameter, you can do so in the Facebook settings and request the setting of a certain attribution. What are the different attribution models? Depending on the selected attribution model, interaction points will be assigned different values. Interaction points are actions, clicks, impressions, visits made by the user on the way to conversion. Last click or visit attribution model. In this model, 100% of the value goes to the final click or visit before the conversion. All previous touch points are not taken into account. Last interaction attribution model. The difference between this model and the previous one is that it also takes impressions into account. If there was no click or visit in the chain of interactions before the conversion, all the value is given to the last impression. Positional attribution model. In this model, the first and last touch points on the conversion path are assigned a certain share of the conversion value, after which the share is evenly distributed among the other touch points. When choosing a positional model, you will be offered two options: positional 30% and positional 40%. Attribution model taking into account the age of the interaction. According to this model, a large percentage of the conversion value is assigned to the interaction points that are chronologically closer to the conversion. When choosing this attribution model, two options are offered: taking into account the age of interaction, 1 day, and taking into account the age of interaction, 7 days. Linear attribution model. This rule-based model assigns the same percentage of conversion value to each interaction along the conversion path, regardless of whether it was a click, visit, or impression, or where it happened within the chain. It is important to remember that interaction points are assigned a certain percentage and not one conversion for each touch point. That is, if there was 1 impression, 2 clicks, and 1 visit on the conversion path, each of these interactions will be assigned 25% of the conversion value. Data-driven attribution model. This model determines the value of interaction points based on a statistical analysis of their significance for achieving a goal.